Hey, we're here at the Junos and I'm on a fashion rampage. Woohoo! I was an on-air television journalist with Vancouver Television. I was in the arts and entertainment department, and my specialty was doing features on creative souls. All during that time, even though I looked great and was this thriving, rambunctious Renaissance woman, I was absolutely just dying inside. I would go to work, I would work all through the day, and then I would just crash at home. And on weekends, I would just crash. In 1980, that's when I first got hit with what I now know is myalgic encephalomyelitis, also known as ME, or most people would know it as chronic fatigue syndrome. I needed to find out what was going on. I'd suspected years before. We kept hearing about this mysterious chronic fatigue syndrome, as it was called then, but I was never diagnosed because I always seemed to be able to function still. My lifelong family doctor, I'd been begging for help, begging, pleading, something's wrong, something's weird. I exercise, I do things, and then days later I'm feeling the crush of fatigue. He couldn't believe this. He just thought I was wacky, and so what he did was he said to me, well, aren't all artists like this? Like, you gotta be freaking kidding me. I couldn't believe it, because that's when I realized this guy was diagnosing me based on my personality and based on my career choice. And that's when I thought, oh my God, I am out of here. And I fired that guy. Boom, he was gone. That's when I took charge. Today I work with about 8 specialists still, including those at the CCDP, or Complex Chronic Disease Program. If it weren't for BC Women's Hospital, I would be in a pretty bad place. I mean, I actually question whether or not I would actually be alive at this point.
Karen's experience of being dismissed, misunderstood, inaccurately diagnosed, told to go home and wait it out is fairly common, in fact, fairly typical. When the CCDP was developed at BC Women's Hospital, it was also an opportunity to ask some novel research questions that had never been asked before. And so a registry was developed, and every patient who is welcomed into the program, attends the program, is able to provide consent to have all of their data and their information housed within a registry. And that registry then is available to researchers affiliated with the CCDP to start to look at some of those questions, such as what are the characteristics of women with CFS versus fibromyalgia, for example. With more research, we can understand more around how do individuals with these conditions continue to live, continue to have a sense of quality of life, while at the same time perhaps still suffering immensely. And again, I think that is an area that research really needs to focus on. Yes, understanding the biomedical underpinnings and the pharmacological treatments is imperative, but there's an equally important, maybe even more important part of the research equation, and that is how are people living? What's their sense of self? How are they contributing meaningfully in a way that's important to them? And again, research is vital to that.
I have complete belief in a future with BC Women's Hospital pursuing this research and pursuing these programs. That there is going to be a significant difference in people's lives, in women's lives. If you look at me and how far I've come in the year and a half that I've been involved in this program, it is beyond my wildest expectations.